viewers, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Emma and I'm so happy you clicked on my What's for Dinner video. I hope you like it. We'll give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. I hope everyone had a happy and safe new year. Let's just jump right on in to my What's for Dinner video. For tonight's dinner, I am making a ground turkey and sweet potato skillet. Here is everything you are going to need. I'm going to start by browning up my 16 ounces of ground turkey. While my turkey is browning up, I'm going to drain my 15-ounce can of black beans. And my 14-ounce can of corn. Okay, this is almost browned up. Now I'm going to add a teaspoon of ground cumin. A teaspoon of chili powder. I'm going to stir that in. Now I'm going to add a tablespoon of minced garlic, tablespoon of that, a lot of stir, and I'm just going to let this cook up for a minute. Okay, it's been a minute. Now I'm going to add about a cup of diced onion, and I'm just going to let that cook up for a few minutes. Okay, it's been like 3 minutes. Now I'm going to add 10 ounces of sweet potatoes. And stir them in. Then I'm going to pop the lid on and I'm just going to let the potatoes cook for about 5 to 8 minutes. While the potatoes are cooking up, we're gonna make a little drizzle, like a little sauce drizzle that we can put over the top when we serve it up. So I'm gonna use 1/3 cup of sour cream, probably a little bit over, but that's okay, and 1/3 cup of some mild sauce. This is the Taco Bell one. Gonna stir that together. And a little more sour cream because I did put a little too much taco sauce. That's good. It has been 7 minutes and the potatoes are done. So now I'm going to add my beans and my corn. Give that a little stir. And then we're just gonna let this cook up for a few minutes until the beans and the corn are cooked through. Probably another 5 minutes. Pop the lid on. Oops, my skillet isn't as big as I thought it was. That's okay. All right, now I'm gonna pop the lid on, just let it cook. Now I'm gonna pop the lid on, Now I'm gonna pop the lid on, let it cook for 5 more minutes. I'm just gonna heat up some tortillas to go on the side. All right, I've heated up the tortillas. Now I'm gonna move this back to here. Let's get you back there. Now I'm gonna sprinkle. Actually, gonna give it one last stir. Okay, make sure it hasn't stuck to the bottom. All right, now I'm gonna sprinkle some mozzarella over the top. Okay, now I'm going to turn the heat off, pop the lid on, and then just let the cheese melt for about 2 minutes. It is all done, now time to serve it up. Okay, there it is. Now I'm going to do the drizzle of that little sauce we made. Top it off with a little cilantro. Fresh cilantro would be so much better, but I didn't have any, so we're just gonna go with what we have. And our tortillas. And there it is, served up. Delicious. For tonight's dinner, I am bringing a pot of salted water to a boil. I have some random potatoes here that I have just washed. I'm gonna throw them into the pot of boiling water, and we're just gonna let them boil up for about 15 minutes. I am preheating my oven to 425. I've laid out my pork chops on my baking dish. Now we're gonna make a little sauce for our pork chops and potatoes. I'm gonna use a 1/4 cup of virgin olive oil, 1/4 cup, and 1 ranch packet. And that's our little marinade for our potatoes and pork chops. Okay, we'll just keep that to the side. Water is boiling. Now we're just gonna throw our clean random potatoes in here, and we're just gonna let them boil up for 15 minutes until they're fork tender. Once the potatoes were fork tender, I drained them. Now I'm gonna put the potatoes onto the baking sheet with my pork chops, and I'm just smashing the potatoes with the back of a teaspoon. Then I just put some of that marinade onto the potatoes and the pork chops. And I actually ran out, so I just made a little bit more. And because I'd already opened another ranch packet, I ended up just sprinkling a little extra of the ranch seasoning over the pork chops and the potatoes. And here it is, all ready to go into my preheated 425-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes, depending on your stove. And then for our veggie, I'm just going to make up some of these sweet peas. Once my potatoes and pork chops have been cooking for 25 minutes, I put my broiler on high, and we're just going to broil it up for 5 minutes. And then there it was out of the oven. And then on my plate, I'm going to have some mint jelly, and then I just sprinkled some Parmesan over the potatoes, and then some parsley flakes over the pork chop and potatoes. And then here it is, all served up. This was delicious. I love pork chops with mint jelly. Delicious. For tonight's dinner, I'm putting 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts and a 1/2 cup of chicken broth into my slow cooker. And we're going to cook this on low for 10 hours. These chicken breasts are actually covering 2 meals. This meal, our tacos, and then tomorrow our curry. Once the chicken was almost done, I started to get our toppings ready. I cut up some lettuce, some lime, some cilantro, some purple onion, and then I just had some of this mild pico de gallo from Walmart. And then we are going to crumble up some queso fresco cheese, or crumble cheese as I call it. And then here is our toppings all set out. Now when the chicken was done, as always, I had my husband shred it for me. Once the chicken was shredded up, we heated up some corn tortillas. My husband's the bomb. He can do 2 at a time. Once the tortillas were warmed up, time to stuff them with some of our chicken. Remember, this is half of the 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts that I had cooked in my crock pot. I'm saving the other half for tomorrow's meal. Technically not tomorrow, the time I'm doing this voiceover, but tomorrow when I actually cooked these tortillas. Or the tacos. Anyway, so next we're gonna fry up the tortillas. So we just sprinkled a little bit of olive oil on the bottom of our pan. Then we placed the corn tortillas with the chicken into the pan, and he's just trying to get the tortilla covered in the olive oil here. And you're just gonna fry them up until they're as crispy as you would like on each side. I think we did it for about 3 minutes possibly each side. Once it cooked on the first side for about 3 minutes, he flipped them and sprinkled a little bit of salt and pepper over the corn tortillas. Not too much, just to give them a little bit of flavor. Then once they're as crispy as he wanted them to be, he took them out of the pan, put them on a paper towel just to drain some of the oil off of the corn tortillas. And then once they were done, we plated them up. And inside the tortillas, I added some onion, some queso fresco crumble cheese, and some sour cream. And then on top of the tortillas, I put some lettuce, cilantro, pico, and lime. And then here it is, all served up. These were absolutely delicious. We will start doing Taco Tuesday every Tuesday now. For tonight's dinner, we were super busy, so I had cooked up chicken the night before because I knew we were going to be busy, but I wanted to cook at home instead of picking up some fast food, so that chicken came in handy. Anyway, so I started by bringing a pot of water to a boil just to cook up some noodles, drained the noodles, added them back to the pot with a little bit of butter, then added that chicken from the night before, and then some Tikka Marsala simmer sauce, poured that in, gave that a good old stir, and then to the jar of the sauce, I just added a little bit of heavy whipping cream to get the remainder of the sauce out in the jar. Put that on top and gave that a good old stir, and that was it. Served it up with some mozzarella cheese. Absolutely delicious, super simple, and I'm glad I cooked at home instead of grabbing something super easy. Anyway, that concludes this week's What's for Dinner video. I hope you liked it. We'll give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you on Friday for my Soup of the Week video. Have a fabulous week. Bye, guys.